Joined now by GB News political editor Christopher Hope. Because, Christopher, I want to talk to you first of all about this breaking news that there is this new poll from YouGov showing for the first time Reform 1 point ahead of the Conservative Party.
Hi, Tom.
Your thoughts?
Tom, that's right. Yeah, joining us in the spin run before the seven-way debate starting on 8:30 here, and I'll be back with you all for the spin run action from 10 p.m. But before that starts, some big news in terms of this election campaign. A YouGov poll for the Times tonight says that we have crossover. What that means is that Reform UK is now the second biggest party in the polls. They're on 19 points, 1 point ahead of the Conservative Party on 18. Labour miles ahead on 37 points. This is a moment which many people have been fearing on the Tory side. They're worried about Nigel Farage's resurgent Reform UK party since he became leader about 10 days ago, and now they are the second biggest party in the polls. This will further depress Tories as they try and stave off what they admit would be a Labour supermajority on July the 4th.
Now, Chris, that is a pretty profound moment. Of course, it will differ in different seats, and this is within the margin of error. But, of course, it is a symbolic moment in this campaign. Let's quickly turn to the Labour Party, because I've noticed you've been thumbing your way through the Labour Party manifesto. And you've been reading it with such meticulous detail, you noticed a spelling error.
Yeah, it was border command with one M. On the same page, there's another spelling mistake. I mean, I only pointed it out in jest, really, because, you know, we all make spelling mistakes, even in our world, Tom. But it seemed to annoy people on Twitter that we saw it and made a joke that there should be spelling lessons, maybe rather than brushing your teeth lessons, Tom, if Labour form the next government. But no, I think it was, it was a workaday manifesto. It did what it had to do, which is not to jeopardise the party's staggering lead in the polls. Nothing spectacular, nothing exciting. It's what they wanted to do, and we are now exactly 21 days into the campaign with 21 days to go. It's half-time. Essentially, if it's a football match, it's half-time and the Tories are down 4-0 and they've got to win 5-4. They've got to score 5 goals without any reply from Labour in the back end of this campaign. It's all about shoe leather or tyres being worn out on roads, getting around the country and being energetically trying to get that message out there. But I mean, frankly, I think there's a feeling in the country of a need for change, and that is recognised by top Tories now. Yeah, no, it's remarkable. But Chris, you sat down with Keir Starmer earlier today, and there was one moment that I think lots of people will have seen. It has done the round, certainly here in Westminster. It's become a bit of a moment. And that's, of course, when you referenced Keir Starmer talking about his father, what his father did for a living, and the audience reaction. I believe we've got a clip. Let's have a listen.
So when someone laughed last night, my dad would have turned in his grave.
Was that a bit of snobbishness towards your dad, do you think?
I don't know what caused someone to laugh.
No.
But if you're laughing at someone because they work in a factory, then that is the one thing that I think had a massive impact on someone like my dad, the disrespect. And it's in me. You can see I'm angry about it. I'm frustrated.
Do you think that the audience was laughing at Keir Starmer's father because of his job or who he was, or at his father at all? Or is Keir Starmer over-interpreting this? Might it have been just when you hear a politician say the same phraseology in the same way again and again and again, it does become comedic?
Well, Tom, I'll be honest with you. That's what I thought. In fact, I asked the question because I was trying to get to the point that maybe voters are getting bored of you saying the same thing, that your dad's a toolmaker and he worked in a factory. And I was trying to get to the point, change the script, Sir Keir Starmer. That was where I was going with the question, and I was completely blindsided, frankly, by his answer. Now, I was sitting across from him at the back of that battle bus, the red Labour battle bus, and his eyes were welling up. And he just said, no, let me finish here. And he said in terms that when he grew up, his dad was mocked by people for saying he worked in a factory. His dad stopped saying it in polite company. He stopped going out. He withdrew into himself because he felt that people didn't respect him in the part of Surrey he lived in. And that is Keir Starmer's lived experience of people laughing about his dad. And I think he probably fought that at school. I think he probably fought it in the early part of his life. And so when he hears it now on the political stage, even though he's in his early 60s, it cut him to the core. And he said so. And I think you and I know, I think we know why people were laughing. They were laughing because of the familiarity with that expression by Keir Starmer. But that doesn't make it wrong for him to say what he said.
No, it doesn't make it wrong for him to take it one way, even if it perhaps was given in another. I do wonder if Keir Starmer perhaps is starting to sound a little Theresa May-ish. And it's only because Rishi Sunak also does that it's not particularly picked up upon. But Christopher Hope, really, really fascinating interview that you conducted with the Leader of His Majesty's Loyal Opposition earlier today. Look forward to what you have more as the evening progresses. Christopher Hope there, our political editor.